Good morning, friends. I'm State Senator Carolyn Comitta, and I am really grateful that each of you are here today. I want to thank you for being here, and I would like to also thank my friend and our Mayor, Lillian DeBaptiste, who's sitting up here in the front row. Thank you for welcoming us to Westchester Borough Hall, which of course is a very special home to me. So thank you. I'm here today with my colleagues, Senator John Kane and Senator Katie Muth. Together, we represent the entirety of Chester County in the Pennsylvania Senate. As you know, the state budget is now almost 2 months late. We're hearing from more and more families, students, workers, community organizations, local municipalities, and school districts who are very worried about what this means for each of our neighbors. Our constituents are concerned about the ongoing impacts of this budget impasse, and so are we. We're concerned about the impacts to education, human services, emergency services, transit, and healthcare. Our message is simple. We need a budget that works for the people of Chester County and the people of Pennsylvania. This week marked the first day of school for many districts in our region. However, the lack of a state budget agreement means the potential for the following: delays to school safety, mental health and academic programs, cuts to arts, music, gifted, AP classes, and support services, fewer extracurricular programs and after-school activities, larger class size, possible layoffs or hiring freezes. Schools are dipping into reserves or borrowing to make ends meet, but the associated costs will be passed on to taxpayers. Did you know that if a school district has to borrow money to cover their expenses because a budget has not been passed and the state dollars have not flowed to them, they will get the state tax dollars. They will never recoup the interest, the cost of the interest to borrow that money. For some of our school districts, that is a huge burden. Schools are dipping into reserves. They are borrowing to make ends meet. And as I said, for many of our school districts, this is a huge burden. In addition to public schools, we've heard about negative impacts to approved private schools, like the Timothy School in Berwyn and the Vanguard School in Malvern, which serve students with autism and special needs. And we know that important early education and pre-K programs are already being impacted. Joining us today is Laura Woolman, a Chester County-based speech pathologist, and her former boss, Megan Riley Keeler. And also with us is Laura's mother, Lynn Strauss. Laura was laid off from her job as an early intervention specialist for programs in Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware County. She was laid off due to the budget impasse. Early intervention is foundational to helping young children with developmental challenges or delays. What is going to happen to these children and their families? It does not have to be this way. We need a budget that works for the people of Chester County and the people of Pennsylvania. For our county social service agencies and the people who rely on them, things are similarly uncertain. Chester County's human services departments have not received $10 million in state funding during July and August due to the budget impasse. The county is absorbing those costs for now, but they cannot bridge the gap forever. And speaking of the county, I would like to recognize and welcome my friend and our county commissioner, Vice Chair of the County Commissioners, Marian Moskowitz. Marian, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Without the funding we need, Chester County cannot provide vital services through the departments of aging, children, youth, and families, health, drug and alcohol services, mental health and intellectual developmental disorders, community transit, community development, veterans affairs, and more. These are services that people rely on for the health, wellness, and a good quality of life. For example, without funding, we'll see a reduction in in-home services for our seniors, important programs for people with disabilities, the 988 call center for mental health crises, and our mobile crisis resolution team. We can do better, and we must do better. We need a budget that works for the people of Chester County and the people of Pennsylvania, and we need it now. We needed it 2 months ago. We've experienced budget delays before. Delays have eliminated or delayed services before, and they have hurt people before. We know what this looks like. We know how this turns out. We don't want to do this again. It is our job to, as senators, as all the senators in Pennsylvania and the House members, to pass a budget that is balanced and that meets the needs of the people of Chester County and the people of Pennsylvania. An annual budget stalemate should not become the new normal. Costs money, and as I have said, and Senator Kaine and Senator Muth will say, they hurt our neighbors and they hurt our communities. Our constituents deserve to know that they can depend on the legislature to do its job, to effectively fund schools and services in a timely way. Our constituents are worried, they're frustrated, and they're annoyed. They're sick of instability and partisan politics interrupting their lives, and frankly, so are we. And that's why we're here. It's time to end this gridlock and move forward. 23 Senate Democrats, that's all of us, are ready to go back to Harrisburg and pass a budget that works for students, schools, families, senior citizens, workers, business owners, for all of us. The House has already passed a budget that does that. It funds schools, human services, transit, and more. They compromised, the House, by lowering the total budget expenditure by $1 billion with a B dollars. The House Democrats have also passed a plan that funds transportation and transit with accountability and oversight requirements as requested by our Republican colleagues. Now it is up to the Senate Republicans to act. Budget talks have stalled because the Republican leadership won't budge. They won't compromise. Like you, we are tired of waiting and we are concerned. Pennsylvanians deserve peace of mind and a budget that works. Our schools and counties deserve the funding they need to educate our children and support everyone in our community. If you are tired of waiting and you are wondering what you can do, please call Republican leader Senator Pittman and tell him to come to the table for an agreement on this budget that works for the people of Chester County and Pennsylvania. It's about compromise. You may have read or heard the governor's press conference last night, and he outlined some compromises. And so each side needs to compromise. And I can tell you that the Democrats have compromised and are compromising, and we need our Republican colleagues to come together with us and to do the same.